Okay. I don't know if you can hear me, but the mic's on. Right, so it's Sunday. Sunday's like a peeping Tom day because it's sort of like a peeping Tom photography day sort of thing. So I'll just vlog this little walk around. All the coffee shops down the West End are always closed, so it gives you a chance to just pop your camera onto the windows and capture all the nice little artwork. All these cafes have nice little interiors, so you get a chance to actually look inside all these cafes without having to worry about sticking your nose in front of people trying to have breakfast or coffee or lunch or whatever. I was going to bring in the EM5 or the EM1 Mark II, but I brought the Lumix GF1 in, so this will be day 7 using this camera. I'll show you what I'm using. I'm sitting outside Henry with the Fox shut. Okay, so you should see that. So 20mm Pro, best lens I've got for the Micro Four Thirds. Probably bring out a K mount or a Canon next week as well. I'm not sure yet, I haven't planned that far yet. So we'll start walking. I've also got my monopod. The advantage of the monopod when you're using the DJI is you can actually make drone shots. I can hold it 3 meters up and it looks like it's actually a drone. Whether I'll do that or not, I don't know. I'll give you a few more tips as we go along, and we'll just talk about what it's like on a Sunday in Melbourne. Okay, so those people who are not familiar with DJI, on the screen you can click a little bit on the touch screen that says flip the camera. So I'll just show you what I do quite often. If I can get the screen to go up, there we go. Right, so that's flip mode on the DJI. So that's Henry the Fox camera. Henry the Fox Cafe. Probably should have brought my CPL filter in. A few warm up photos around here. My favourite coffee shop down this end is over there. There's actually about 8 coffee shops just in this little corner. Alright, I'll flip you back. How's that? There you go. Modern technology for you. Face tracker's turned on as well. So I've got, what do we got? I have 45 minutes to get to work, so plenty of time. Okay. Take you over to 5 Points. Only thing happening in the city today. I'll get a snapshot down there. We've got better get off the crosswalk. All the AFL teams are playing, all the football teams are playing interstate, so we've got rugby on today. I'll flip you around so I get used to this don't flip, and I will show you literally the number of cafes I got here, none of which are open. Alright, we got Super there. We got, it's a sushi bar there. Keep walking slowly. I do have a habit of spinning this thing too fast. 5 Points there. Coffee Roasters there. Henry Fox there. McCracken's there. So, and I think, we got a bar just behind 5 Points. And if it all wears you out, we've got a food hall behind 5 Points as well. So as you can imagine, this place it's actually busy today too, but it can be quite busy on a working day. Right, flip you back. There we go. Right, so we'll start with 5 Points. Well, actually we'll start with this. Yeah, we'll start with 5 Points. And we'll work back up this way. There's a bicycle here with a nice little donut on it, so rather than flip, I'll show you what the other way is they do these. No, I'll just flip. Flip's easier. So you ride a bicycle, where's this bicycle? To lose weight, but to remind you of how nice everything is, you put a donut on it. Just checking my camera. I do believe everything is focusing. Flip you back. Oh, there we go. We'll just check this camera out for a sec. Not that I know where all the menus are. Alright, I think it's working. Just trying to see the focus mode, but I can't remember where the focus button is. And look, I forgot one. We've got DJI wine bar in here as well. So. Really could do a CPL filter right now. So Sunday's a good day for cafes. I call it the peeping Tom photography day, but you are just basically sticking a camera in somebody's window and capturing artwork. This is 5 points. It's not going to go off me, this tracking, but anyway. We are outside 5 points, and they are shut on Sunday. Put them out. Grab that photo. Right, now we walk back up where we came from. 5 points has got some nice stuff in the window, all the way around it. Trying to get a 40mm focal range to work. Okay. Right. Now, I'll head back up this way. We'll grab Super, because Super's quite cool. Nice reflection of the curry bowl. I don't know how many of these photos I'll actually stick on here, but Sunday is also the best day for me to come to work, so I better not be late. As I say, it's midday. I've got to be at work by 10 to 1. It's not that far to walk either, 2 k's from here. It's the day where they pay you double time, so you really want to turn up. With the DJI Pocket 2, I've dropped the exposure down to -1. Those who use the DJI or use the Pockets, I do have ND filters for it. The ND filters sit on the outside of the, well, they have to, they sit on the outside of the lens. When the gimbal goes into sleep mode, or this gimbal has a pretty good self-protection mode, so if it thinks it's in trouble, it curls up to protect its camera. When the gimbal starts turning the camera around, the ND filter falls off, and I have dropped one. I've had this camera 18 months, and the first day I took it out, I put the ND filter on it, and the ND filter fell off, and I spent 30 minutes walking around the city looking for it. I found it, but I haven't used one since. I'm too worried about them falling off. So we've dropped the exposure down to -1. I counted one cloud in the sky, but I'm at Super now. See if we can flip you around. It's me. Oh well. I have no idea what that's looking at because I flipped it. Right. Go back. Everything at Super is made today. Well, I hope not. It's just shut. Bit of an irony, that one. Step back. 40mm focal range is a little bit tricky. I can hear an aeroplane overhead. Right, so once we go through that coffee, I hope you're counting. Behind me down there, 5 points, Super, sushi bar, and we got here, Cos City. I can actually step back, in my be upset. Next to Cos City we have a brioche and a baguette place. Does anybody actually work in this part of the city? I don't know. They got some Turkish women in the window. Let's work on that. Brioche. Natisserie Bakery. Now, give you a flip and you can see what I'm chatting about. Flip, flip. There we go. Must look strange, that. Right. Brioche, Woods, another cafe. Come back down there. 5 points is right on that corner. Got the city, Super. And I just found another one. That's Man Her building for the barber, and the Make Her coffee shop. If you do come to this part of, we're on the Little Collins Street, if you do come down here, you are best just go to 5 Points. I go to 5 Points. It's cosy. Doesn't get too crowded, but doesn't have a lot of seats, so that's the main thing. I am used to vlogging in public, so I don't mind chatting and talking. And yes, you get strange looks. And I know I need to have a shave, everybody keeps telling me. Right. So, with my vlogging style, it's pretty much I'll try and walk and talk and keep the camera on me while I'm walking and talking, but my whole aim is to walk to work, shoot photos, get my mental health right, de-stress, calm down, relax, and then, you know, if you don't know already, I drive trains, so, you know, I've got to go out there and try not to run people over who want to commit suicide every 5 minutes that train comes by. So, snap that random shot. And the other, alright, get off that topic, because that's just stressing me. Where I start my walk, I will flip this around, face track on, good, thank you. Flip. Right. Are we going to zoom? No, we're not going to zoom, okay. The end of that road, not where the cars are moving, but keep going with the tall buildings are. Take a photo, make it easier. I'm going to change it from back to F5.6, I was in 7.1. That's started with a Golden Street, that's Spencer Street Station. That's me. Alright, I'll show you some of the magic this. I'll flip it around and I'll show you the magic this little pole can do. Get back around again, sorry about double flipping. This is going to look like a drone taking off, but it's actually a pole. Right, now you might be able to see it. And I'll land you back down. So that's a monopod. Find a safe spot to land. There we go. I was last year. Come back to me. I was last year actually walking around with the pole extended right out. So the DJI was sitting, the Pocket was sitting 3 metres off the ground, or 4 metres off the ground above me, sort of thing. It was sitting high anyway. High enough that I kept clipping the tops of the traffic lights and the street signs. And I nearly knocked the, I nearly killed the DJI. Yeah, there are some advantages to using some of the more action cameras, and there are some disadvantages too. I don't generally do any action work, so this has got a higher resolution sensor. It's got a lot more features in it without me needing to chuck the ND filter on it. Doesn't mean I'm not looking at an Action 5, but I will probably stick the action camera on the hot shoe, cold shoe, on the camera flash. I'll get this tram as it goes by. So we're going to head down Little Collins Street a little bit more. Not sure what we're going to get up here, to be honest. We just had a cafe splash around. And I'll keep chatting. Just worry about where this traffic is. There are some good monochrome spots around here too, but I'm going to try and walk west. What am I saying? And try, yeah, walk west to east. Somebody taking ATM machines for a drive. I don't know if you can see that, but they're back there. And plenty of people walk around talking to themselves, so if you haven't done vlogging before, it's worth it. And these DJI Pockets, the Pocket 2, I think, it's a sour story, but I ordered the Pocket 2. I had to wait 2 months for it to come in. It came in, and then about 6 weeks later, the Pocket 3 came out. So I would have ordered the Pocket 3, you know, 3 months earlier when I put the Pocket 2 order in, but I didn't know it was coming, and the store didn't tell me. So I have a Pocket 2. The screen is a little bit small, and my eyesight is a little bit poor, so unless I put my glasses on and I have trouble wearing glasses and walking, I don't want to fall over most of the time, I will not be able to see the screen all the time, because it is actually only the size of a postage stamp. Needless to say, I like to talk to myself. I like to talk to the camera. I like to talk to my imaginary friends that wander around with me. I spend 8 hours on my own in a train cab. I've got to talk to somebody. So when I'm walking to work, there's no problem vlogging and chatting and talking. I'm mostly looking for a photo shop. This is weird. Photo shot, not shop. I have found another cafe anyway. On my Peeping Tom Sunday, put that as the name of this video. Oh, we shot. This is written in French. So if you can speak French, you'll know what I am. But I don't know what this is called. But Petit Gâteau. Alright, that's pretty easy to figure out. Experience irresistible flavours. That's English. So repeat gâteau.com.au. This is a patisserie of some sort. Let's say pastries. Pastries baked in-house each day. Now they're on the window at the moment. Easter eggs. Is there anything inside? Not particularly. Over the road we have a barber. We'll go over to the barber. Hold on, I'm trying not to get run over. So across here we have terrace deli, dry cleaner. These are all good for photos. Okay, so Korean barbecue box, barber, dry cleaners, coffee shop. I will flip this thing around and we'll go and snap some photos and see what we come up with. Come on, camera, turn, flip. There we go. I have a DJI Neo at home. I haven't used it, but I have it. I need a CBL filter to make this work. This is going to be very weird. Yes, I got the DJI Neo for Christmas. I've used it in the house to scare the pets because it's a vlogging drone, not an aerial drone, like not one you're going to go take. Hey, the barbershop's going to come out okay. So I can keep my hand still. Is the size of that camera? No, the size of my hand. And I don't know what's in there. Stray person walking by. That'll make a good photo. What are we shooting at? 130 for the second. I got an aperture priority. I haven't got it in shutter mode. I'm shooting buildings. I'm trying to get what you would call vanishing points. I always feel weird trying to discuss photography, composition points. There's a million people on YouTube who are professional photographers who talk about it all day. But a vanishing point is quite simple. You put it in f5.6. The further away from this camera you get, the less you're going to see. And I like that. Like an Irish flag down there. We'll work on that. How are we going for time? We're doing good. Okay. Bank Lane over there. I did that the other day. How about we head into the sun? This weird thing behind me is an obstacle to stop cars, but it's a coffee shop too. I don't know if that lady behind me is going to follow me. People see these DJI Pockets. They've been in the city for a couple of years and they think you're aiming them the other way. Oh, staircase. Let's take a photo. I like staircases. They do vanishing as well. So that blue box is a coffee shop, rooftop bar. You can get drunk up top and I don't know if you can see up the top there. Let's launch the drone over, what you would say. Okay, I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to turn off the flip mode, turn off the facial tracker. That I can get those palm trees out the way, banana trees. Is the bar, and you sit there and you look at that wonderful building up there as the jumbo jet flies over the top. There we go, bit of aerial magic. Alright, I better bring it down. Facial tracker's not going to want to find me at 3 metres. There we go. Some arrows here. I like arrows. So, I like vanishing points in my photos. If I sit it at f8, you'll see infinity focus. If I sit it at f5.6, things will gradually go out of focus. That's a vanishing point. I also like to shoot into corners. Can't always do it. That's another tip I'll give you today. Shooting into corners makes it appear 3D almost. Gives a bit more depth of field to your photo without actually going further back. Hard one to explain, but if I get a chance, I'll find a shooting in the corner photo. But rather than, shoot straight on, just try and get it on a different angle. Too many street photographers in this city just sit in one spot outside my workplace photographing people all day. Obviously it's my workplace and I don't want to sit there taking photos because I'll end up getting myself in trouble. Alright, I got a man walking, so you're going to miss that one, but look at that. Big shadow on him too. I'll flip you around and show you what I'm taking photos of. There's another guy coming down too. Oh. So we've got this building. So I've grabbed two people, but it's got potential for black and white. It goes all the way up into the heavens. I'm going to bring that down because the DJI is not going to be happy with me. No. I've got a woman walking up there now, so one of these photos will make it on. Oh, that works better. Alright. So where was I? I like to waffle. My wife says I waffle a lot. That's why vlogging, I guess, is going to be good for me. I'll get it off. All the waffling off my chest. So continuing our peeping Tom little adventure. Where are we now? On Burke Street, in case you can't tell by the tram. This is also very sunny, so we'll see how this exposure technique they call it on the... Look at that photo. I'm going to chuck it into shutter mode because we've got people around. I'll put the shutter speed at 1320 for the second. Thought I was so, and she's going to shoot at f2. Okay. So f2 is, I don't want to tell you how to suck eggs, but f2 is not going to give me a great depth. But here we go, we'll try and get a photo of the photo. Here, flip this thing around. Right. We have here one free to use public telephone. All the public telephones are free. And we have people sitting over there. So we'll shoot on an angle. We'll go through two panes of glass. Get myself down low enough, and we'll wait for something. Oh, cop car would have been good. Righty. Get the car, go through the middle. There. And try it without a car. So we're shooting on that angle rather than stand here and shoot. I'll take a photo of it. It's flat in your face when you shoot it that way. Here end of the lecture for the morning, lunchtime. How are we going for time? 21 minutes of me waffling on talking to myself. Alright, we'll swing down towards part of Hardware Lane. So I've got a few things I'm going to vlog about this week. I'm going to talk to you about Squarespace and why you should get rid of it. Nothing against Squarespace, but I've given them $6,000, so I'll do a video about how you can waste money when you don't need to. And I will talk a little bit more about street photography in each video. Some of the things I don't necessarily want to shoot people. I like to get the monochrome look, I like to get angles, I like to get architecture. Coming into, this is map, map here. Facial tracker will come back. I'll flip this thing around, and I'll flip it back around. That's one way of keeping facial tracker working. Alright, well, we were going to go that way, but the road is closed, so we're going to have to do 3-point turn here. Cross this way, turn right, turn right. Okay, so it's bright and sunny. We've got -1 exposure. It's 30 degrees, although I looked at the weather photo before and it was a whopping 27, so it's not too hot. Where we're heading to now is Cafe Strips. These ones are open generally on a Sunday. Now, let's go around, you can see what I'm looking at. That corner is closed to pedestrians, so we got to walk from there to where I am, to there, to get back over there. Yeah, I know, it's Melbourne. But I am sure you have construction where you live. Surrounded by people. Try not to get run over, try not to stand a little bit off. So it is the 6th week of autumn, fall as you Americans call it, and we are currently still in summer. We had a few cold days, but these trees above me, you probably can't see them because the facial track is working. Right, those trees up there have not lost their leaves. No wonder they're green trees. Normally, this time of year, I could shoot facades of these buildings that you can't see for 6 months. So it's warm. It should be raining and snowing in about 4 weeks up in the Alps. Our mountain ranges here in Victoria. Ain't got a hope. It's just hot. And me being a little Dutchy, I don't. This is the most I can handle temperature. If it gets any hotter, I'm moving. And that's what I've done all my life. I keep moving. Oh, I'll get that tram. We haven't had a photo for a while. Alright, we're coming up to Hardware Lane. We're coming up to running out of time. Alright, I will spin you back around and talk to you again soon. One last thing I'll say before I'll have to quit this thing now. This is going to turn into War and Peace. We hit 300 subscribers on the channel yesterday, Saturday, and I woke up this morning we're back to 299. But that's YouTube world for you. So once again, thank you to everybody who's subscribing. It's nice to know that my waffles actually get looked at. If you can let me know in the comments anything you want me to go and shoot or photograph, go for it. People are trying to walk around the camera at the moment. I don't know which way it's facing. And I will step back, get out of her way. Yep, so thank you to everybody who's subscribed. It does help. Thank you to everybody who's given me thumbs up, notifications, and people who are chatting to me. Stay tuned later in the week, maybe tomorrow, maybe later. I will definitely talk to you about Squarespace and other weird and wonderful things that suck money out of your bank and you don't actually know what you're doing with them. Stay safe. Chat to you later.